get some of these out here so I can show this to you. Y'all bear with me 1 minute. Y'all all right? Okay. Okay, let's deal with this. Yes, this is it now. I gotta turn that around. This is the staff of Tahuti. As a result, with the Kundalini energy that is in you, that is 90 degrees Fahrenheit, a fire behind the fire that is inside of you, when your spiritual nature raises up and you raise the Kundalini energy, the Kundalini energy goes through the black dot on a threshold. Same thing, just another illustration. The Kundalini energy goes through the black dot on a threshold and lift you up to your Godhead. Since the white man don't have this black dot is calcified because he's a mutant, when the Kundalini energy raises up, because they do have a form of the Kundalini energy, when it raises up, it hits this particular part and their bodies bust into flames and catch on fire. That's what you see with white people, what you call spontaneous combustion, practice catching on fire. There's a whole book put out by Stu Preston England called Fires from Heaven. Fires from Heaven on white people who catch on fire. With you, the same Kundalini energy raises you up and you go through the threshold and go back to your Godhead. See what I'm coming from? With white people, they burn up when they get to this particular level. So they say, so white people say raising the Kundalini is dangerous. It's dangerous for them. Because when they raise, they can kill themselves by dealing with this particular energy. You understand where I'm coming from? Dealing with this particular energy. Now, let's get into some things here. Let's keep on going. Got a lot to cover here. In here, it's called the black sun. The word, the black sun, you get the word Al. There's another word for black. Ham is another name for black. Abraham, it also means the black sun. Abraham, it means the black sun. So the white people don't mean the sons and daughters of Abraham. Abraham means the black sun, which means the black sun. Abraham. In here, this is the black sun. In here, you see this particular entity here is something that is dealing with your soul. Now, you don't suppose to take the literal. It's explaining energy, is what it's explaining. When you go up, there is an entity that sets over the threshold. If you are white, this entity eats you. Go see the movie Frighteners. Movie Frighteners, Michael J. Fox. When the crackers tried to get up the thing, this entity came and snapped them and killed them. Movie Frighteners. Very key. You want to learn about the soul, get the movie Frighteners. Told a lot of good stuff in the movie.
Brother and that white brother walking around.
Yeah. But you couldn't get past the heaven realm. But you go past the heaven realm. Because your soul, the one that eats souls in actuality, is a part of you anyway. Now let me explain this. Let me go into some things here. Try to explain something. Number one, to try to explain God with mere religious terminology is only limiting the process of God. This is chaos, and this is how your melanin looks and operates in you. How in the hell can you put a name on that? So ultimately, there is no real true name of God. All names of gods are but good names to explain God. You see what I'm saying? Because ultimately, this is what chaos is. And this is what is inside of you. You understand what I'm saying? When I started off the lecture, I said that you can't calculate and put a calculation on chaos. Now, let me hold right there because I'm going to go into some things right now to try to explain something on how we function. We notice that no matter what we do, we fail at everything as black people. We can't get nothing off the ground. Even the conscious brothers and sisters. We open up a vegetarian restaurant, you got to wait 10 hours. Same, I don't know how it is up, same thing. All the conscious people, hell, they're the worst kind of niggas. You got to wait 10 hours. Seems like whatever we do, we always do the worst service. We always are prone to fail. That's good. That's good. Failure is good. Now, I'm not bumping off the gun. Let me explain this to you. There was a radio show with the woman Kate Thompson up in New York City. It was going on. And all through the night, they had a call in, and people was calling in saying how black people can't do this, and why we can't seem to do this. Why can't we do business like the Japanese? Why can't we do this like the Jews? Why can't we do this like the white man? Why can't we do this like anybody else? And for a split second, the spirit came down, and one of the brothers on the actual station and said, hey, wait a minute. Maybe we don't supposed to do those things. See what I'm saying? See, we are here killing ourselves, trying to find out how we going to get out of this mess. But when we talk about getting out of this mess, we're talking about us being free as far as running the civilization equal to the white man.
That's right.
That's what we call freedom. Right? So our revolutionary type things is we want freedom to have our own black nation equal to the white man or better than the white man. First of all, we don't know enough about history to understand this. First of all, history don't just start with Egypt. History goes back millions of years we've been on the planet. Like I said, I was talking to the sister this morning, is the reason why we fell from Egypt and fell into what we are now is we didn't really fall, we outgrew that shit. That was a low level of living. We have done that for a couple of thousand years. And it's time to go in the cocoon to the metamorphosis stage to go to the other dimension. So as a result, we gave that to the lesser men and women on the planet. Understand? So now you got hit in the head and lost your memory. And in the process of gaining your memory back, you trying to duplicate what the cracker doing on some shit that you gave up a long time ago because you outgrew it. You understand what I'm talking about here? Then all of a sudden, shit start making sense. Maybe you don't supposed to do what the cracker is doing. Why? First of all, we got to look at this. Number one, we left a whole lot of knowledge behind from the ancient world to remind us. But every bit of the knowledge we left behind from the ancient world is all spiritual. We don't know what them people did to run their societies back then. We can only speculate. But why didn't they leave a blueprint behind on how to run a society? But yet they left all this spiritual stuff. The meta, the God's this, the Hebrew scripture, the Kabbalah, all this religious material and the spiritual material. Why didn't they leave a blueprint on how you to function on the physical? Yet, we put into action what we was going to do when we got out of this mess a long time ago. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here now talking about it because we agreed to do it this way eons before we went to sleep. You understand where I'm coming from? But yet, when we look at the stuff that we put into action that we're supposed to gain back, the knowledge, it's all spiritual material. So what the fuck are we doing up in here? Talking about anything other than the spirit. When you can't find no kind of blueprint telling you on how to run the world based on the mundane realm. As the cracker doing. That's because you done ran in a couple thousand years. And then you went into a hibernation cocoon stage. And no caterpillar goes into a cocoon to come out a caterpillar. It's metamorphosis time. But yet the material that we left behind was all spiritual stuff talking about what? The end of the world. If you ain't talking about ending this shit, you ain't talking about nothing.